Good morning. Today is Friday, June 8th, 2012. The markets last evening saw a huge roller coaster ride with huge volatility, especially in bullions, with a zigzag pattern ahead of the Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke's testimonial before the Congress. Prior to that, earlier in the afternoon, China cut its prime lending rate by 0.25%, and that boosted up base metals initially during the late afternoon and early evening session, with copper moving up from a low of 406.25 to around the 413 mark. Here we give a commentary of the day ahead of us. Gold is now trading at $1,580. Yesterday, from a high of $1,627, after the Bernanke's testimonial to the Congress around that time, it crashed to a low of $1,575 and closed at around the $1,585 mark, now trading at $1,580. Expected to trade in the range of 1,560 to 1,600. Markets keenly await the jobs data later tonight from the US, which data last evening had a huge sentiment on the market, wherein the bullions rose sharply, base metals and crude crashed after poor data on the employment front in the US. MCX gold is expected to trade in the range of 29,000 to 29,500 and gold in the range of 1,560 to $1,600, currently at $1,580. Wait for fresh entry in gold. Silver is now trading at $28.40. It hit a low of 29.7 yesterday, and along with gold crashed later in the evening on sentiment on news of Fed Chairman's speech in the Congress. It closed at around 29.55, now trading marginally lower. The MCX exchange, it's expected to open at around the 54,000, of course dependent on the INR moves and open during the morning. The range is expected to be 53,500 to 54,500 to 54,800. Dollar terms, the support is strong at $28 to 27.9 and resistance at $29. So the trading range is expected to be $28 to $29 ahead of the US data this evening. Wait for fresh entry in silver. Crude has sold off sharply this morning and is trading at around $82.9, down close to 2% in early trades this morning. In the MCX, it closed at around the 46.93 mark. MCX is expected to open sharply lower at around 46.10 to 46.20. The support is at 45.60 to 45.80 and resistance at 46.70 to 90. So the range is expected to be 45.60 to 4700, and expect crude in the MCX to open at around strongly lower at around 46.20 levels. Copper had a seesaw for the last 4 days and trades in a range of 406 to 430. Briefly, it flirted up to around 414 during the evening session on announcement of China bank rate cut by 0.25%. Went up to 414 half, settled down at around the 411.80 mark at close. This morning, copper has opened sharply lower by about 1% on negative sentiment in the markets. Expected to open at around the 407 to 407.50, of course dependent on the INR. Strong support, weekly support is at 406, resistance is at 413. Expect to trade in the range and wait for fresh entry. Nickel closed at around 917 yesterday. Resistance is at 925 and support is at 900. Base metals, other base metals like zinc, lead and aluminum moves along with copper, but overall zinc is holding firm for the last week to 10 days and is expected to be a buy on support at every dip. Lead also was marginally weak yesterday, below 104.50, but then it moved up and expected to trade sideways during the morning session. Natural gas inventory came yesterday and it tested supports of around 128, expected to trade in the range of 126 to 135 during the course of the day. US dollar index again is at 82.43. All markets are waiting now for the US data to be announced later in the day on the employment front and the consumer confidence index. Members are advised not to take any major positions or trades till late evening till around 6 p.m. when the data are out, as that's going to have a huge impact on the market, as we saw last Friday when the markets crashed, especially base metals and crude, and bullions rose up sharply. Now regarding the Fed has made announcements yesterday that the economy is taking a beating as of now, and the recovery path is expected to be very slow. Markets were expecting Bernanke to make some kind of an announcement on QE3 package or a stimulus package, but his announcement came short of any QE3 or wordings to that nature. markets were disappointed and of course tanked only because of that, especially bullions. Still, the Fed chairman has stated that all tools are available before the bank now to shore up the economy, and whatever steps that needed to be taken in due course would be taken. The next FOMC meet is on June 19th and 20th, wherein the markets will now be waiting with bated breath for the next course of events to unfold during that time. Till such time, the markets are of course going to trade in a sideways motion with seesaw up and down till the outcome of the next FOMC meet is announced. Traders are advised to take less positions during the morning session today till the data are out at 6 p.m. Have a good trading day and visit our website and blogs for trading calls at www.akshayaship.com. Thank you.